Hey guys, Rabbit here, back with another Starcraft Broodwar Remastered cast, and today I have a ladder game from Bonyth. He played this game in October 2022, was kind enough to share the replay with me, and so we have a PvP for you today on Polypoid. So Bonyth has spawned in the top right, playing in the blue under his Smurf name Adun. And he's playing against a random on the ladder that I've got absolutely no idea who he is. This is an S rank match. I follow Bonyth's stream and I watch his VODs on a regular basis on Twitch. If you're not already doing so and you want to see one of the best foreign Protoss players play Starcraft in the world, then Bonyth is certainly one that you can consider following. Alright, so quite excited to cast this game for you today. I'm actually hoping to bring Bonyth content to you on a regular basis. He's a very, very approachable and relatable guy, and I'm very, very grateful that he's willing to share his replays with me. He doesn't have to, but he was kind enough to do so, so I just want to say thanks again, mate. It's really, really appreciated. Alright, so standard gateway openings from both players. The reason why we have to say these kinds of things is on the ladder, specifically in PvPs, you get all sorts of things. You get forward gateways, you get proxy gateways, you get gateways in base. So far it's all just fairly normal stuff. Bonyth not doing the Bonyth 2 gate, starting with the gas core expansion, and it looks like his opponent is mirroring his build exactly the same. Let's see the scout patterns. So it looks like red is going diagonal first, or is he going cross? Is he going close or is he going cross? This is really annoying. This is interesting. He's actually scouting him cross. So that is not a scout pattern that you actually see very often. You tend to see the close position and then they go up, and then they know from process elimination the opponent is directly opposite or whatever the case might be. But so the pattern Bonyth is using is also kind of the opposite, whereas he's gone straight down and it looks like he's going to go across, and then from there realize that it's cross spawn. Alright, so red's probe is in the base, just being annoying. Safety zealot is out for both players, so this is a very, very, very close build in terms of the timings. You can see you've got the exact same work account and the exact same supply. I think he'll try and keep this probe alive for as long as possible, and the goal here is to try and scout whether Bonyth starts range or not. There he starts range, and so does his opponent, literally almost at exactly the same time, although red's range is slightly ahead, and they're both building dragoons. So mirror matchups, mirror builds, just comes down then to execution. The dragoon had a little bit of a chance to pip that probe, and he decided nope, he would rather chase him. I wonder who decided that a dragoon running this way would make sense. Goofiest looking thing I've ever seen. It's my rendition of clown music. It's absolutely fantastic. Bonyth is seriously keen on getting this probe, but he pulls away now, and both players get their scouting probes back home and can no longer exactly know what the other one is doing. So, was starting range any kind of fake out? It doesn't look like it. Both players are starting their robos. I expect with those robo timings that it's going to be one gate Reaver from Bonyth and one gate Reaver from our villain Protoss. We shall call him Red. Reaver play almost a absolute fixture of S rank. You can see that Bonyth's pulled ahead now on workers. I think that might literally just be mechanics. There's nothing that the red Protoss has sort of traded for that probe deficit, although he seems to be catching up now. He's only one behind. They're both going observatory before support bay. Interesting that. And red building a zealot instead of another dragoon. Yeah, so Bonyth's support bay comes up. It's sort of there behind the observatory, so he's building his tech buildings here. Still on 1 gate production. Not building anything out of his gateway at the moment because he's trying to save money to take a nexus. Okay, so this is quite a deviation from his opponent's build. His opponent is getting up his support bay, may actually even start his first Reaver, get his observer out, and Bonyth has already dropped his nexus. We've got 4 goons and a zealot versus 4 goons, 2 zealots, an observer, and an incoming Reaver, although Bonyth also has an incoming Reaver. So already just on these very small margins, I would say Bonyth has an edge because his nexus is just so much further ahead than his opponent's is. Still just 1 gate. I would be terrified playing 1 gate in a PvP, but then again, I'm not an S-rank Protoss player. I don't know how to manage zealots. So Bonyth getting his gate count up to 3, so it's 3 gate Robo becomes our first Reaver. And opponent does have his first Reaver out, does have his Nexus out, but as we can see, Bonyth's is about to finish. Red is still a long way away. It's going to make a big difference in terms of the economy, and even now, just on the 1, we have 31 versus 29. So Bonyth has an edge. He plays at a lower APM, but sometimes it doesn't matter. It's the quality of your actions as opposed to the number of them. A very, very quiet game. No early fights as of yet. I think we are gearing up for an engagement. Red has sent out his observer now, sort of for the first time, to see how Bonyth is progressing with his build and what he's doing. And concurrently, Bonyth is sending his as well. So you can see the impact of that second Nexus. We now have a 5 worker advantage. Army would be all but the same. Here comes Bonyth in to see that he hasn't even started mining gas. No, neither player have started mining gas at their natural as of yet. Counting his units, seeing how many workers he's got. So he's got a pretty good idea of what his opponent's up to. Red is sending his observer back. Bonyth seems to just be repositioning his units. He's now got 2 Reavers out on the field. So does his opponent. So this is going to be a Reaver, Dragoon, Zealot fight that is going to transition, and I'm sure some shuttles will be the vehicle by which these Reavers are microed. And as I say that, both players are building a shuttle now. So it's going to be a masterclass in Reaver shuttle micro, which is why I chose to cast this game, because the skills required to do this are just exceptionally high. Alright, so the first little bit of action, here we go. We're moving out. We're going to have our first battle. The Red observer scouts that Bonyth's army is on the move. In fact, he picks him off. And now Red's got no idea whether Bonyth is still moving forward or if he's going back. Adding another gateway, so going up to 4 gates. Got some Dragoons inside his base in the event of a Reaver drop. So that's a good tactic here. So you can see this is blocking an in-base Reaver drop or a drop of Reavers into the mineral line. The downside of this, though, is he's going to have fewer units to take this fight, which means that Bonyth has really been able to advance on his position here. He's got 2 zealots, 2 Reavers out in front. Oh, both of them took shots, though. I think he might have lost one. Yeah, he lost a Reaver there. That was unfortunate. That was a little bit of a miss micro from Bonyth. He should have been able to, at his skill, probably pick up both Reavers before taking the Scarab shot. I don't know if it's going to matter that much, though. I'm just going to zoom out slightly to see a little bit more of the fight. Okay, so in comes 1 Reaver and the goons. Red's second Reaver's now come out. Oh, he's trying so hard to focus down this Reaver, but he can't. Oh, another huge Scarab shot, but he's picked off the Reaver, so Bonyth retreats. I think Bonyth might just hold position now because Red's got 2 Reavers out and a shuttle. He needs to be careful of a counter drop or any counter play that Red comes up with. Behind this, just rallying down some more Dragoons and the Zealots. Gone up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6 gateways. That's a forge. Citadel coming up here. Okay, so red's moving out, but he's gonna lose too many units here. This is a mistake. He sort of split his army off. There's 3 Reavers down here though. Bonyth has to focus them down. He doesn't get any of them. There's still 3 out here. He's gonna lose a lot of units. He's introduced his own Reaver into the picture though. Oh, and I think he got, no he didn't. Somehow this fight sort of balanced itself out with the Reavers being the ultimate equalizer, but that was really, really close. Bonyth slipping a little bit on macro, but because of his gate hunt is able to just power up 6 Dragoons quickly behind this, adding another shuttle, and I think he needs to just regroup again. This is a tight fight for this position. Red has continuously needed to play more of a defensive role in the game so far. I think one more favorable trade for Bonyth, and he probably is able to break this Protoss just because of his economic advantage. 53 workers to 42. Red knows it's just a matter of time. If he doesn't do any counter damage, then he's lost because Bonyth's already taking a third. He probably doesn't know that yet, but he probably does sense that he's a little bit behind. This looks like it's going to be a little bit of a counter or a base trade here because Red's moved his units up and out. These Dragoons are going to be picked off because they're seriously outnumbered, and Bonyth takes this fight. Gets 1 Reaver, but he's going to lose all his Dragoons here. I don't think this is going to be enough. That being said, he's got the defender's advantage. He's reinforcing with 6 Dragoons from his gateway, so that's not going to be a problem. I think he's going to move in this position now, knowing that Red wouldn't have that many units left. So he's got a pod of 10 Dragoons, an Observer against 8 and a Reaver. I think that's a pretty even fight. In fact, he's pulled back because it's probably not odds that he likes. Especially with the reinforcing gateways of Red, which is also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he's just rounded out of some macro there. Okay, so Bonyth's just securing and setting up his third. And I think he needs to back away here. He knows he can't take this fight now. I think he's going to group his units together here where his third base has been set up. And I think Red is going to try and set up a third of his own, but he's always just one step behind at this stage of this game. Bonyth's had a third for substantially longer. He got his second up a lot quicker. It's always just been that one step ahead all game long. Couple of observers, good vision on both sides of the map, kind of understanding what his opponent's scout pattern is going to be. Here we have Bonyth moving out with a shuttle, and this could be a big moment. There's 2 Reavers and there's 1 Reaver in the shuttle, but he's not seen him, and he's going to get, oh my word, he got about 6 probes in that shot. He's going to get another one off. This is catastrophic damage to Red, who was already so far behind. Oh, he picks up another one and moves out without taking a single shot. I think Red now is just going to throw his units in as a counter and hope for the best. I don't think he has a snowball's chance in hell of breaking Bonyth, who's now going to drop the Reaver in again in the main mineral line. And, oh, he's going to get a few more. This is probe massacre. Sending in his units here, but Bonyth has positioned them all on the high ground, expecting this counter attack. I think he's going to hold this without too many issues. That Reaver's probably still running amok, but it was good to have a look at this fight. There's just too much Bonyth here, and this is going to be a solid hold and a very, very good win for Bonyth. Just one step ahead of his opponent every step of this game, and a very, very solid EVP. And that's it. GG. I'm Rabbit I'm a variety Brood War caster. If you enjoyed this game, then please do like and subscribe for regular Brood War content. Till later, ciao for now.